Welcome back to AAWR Training Workshop Part 3, Most Wanted Invasive Plant Species, where you will learn about the different types of invasive plants, the most wanted invasive plants, and alert-only invasive plants. After this part of the training, you will be able to identify 4 main types of invasive plants: vines, shrubs, herbaceous forbs, and grasses. I suggest that you follow along with the following links provided below: Plant Invaders of Mid-Atlantic Natural Areas and Mistaken Identity. While I include the scientific name in the slides, I will use the common name in this training. The first type of invasive plants we will discuss are vines, which include English ivy, Japanese honeysuckle, mile-a-minute, winter creeper, oriental bittersweet, Japanese hops, porcelainberry, and common periwinkle. English ivy is an evergreen perennial native to Europe and Asia. It has alternate leaves that can vary from unlobed to 3 to 5 lobed, but are usually dark green, waxy, and somewhat leathery. Flowering begins in late summer to early fall. The flowers are small greenish yellow and occur in starburst shapes at tips of the flowering stem. The fruits are black with a fleshy outer layer with stone-like seeds. As English ivy can look hairy and look like poison ivy, the best way to distinguish the two are that English ivy roots are bristle-like, reminiscent of straw, and they are no more than about 2 inches long and pale-colored, whereas poison ivy roots are fine and form a dense mat of dark, sometimes reddish color. Mature English ivy does not produce any rootlets. Overall, English ivy can be pulled by hand on the ground by rolling it up as you cut, or by cutting a window on the tree, which involves cutting the stems at the ground around the tree and removing the vines from the tree as high as you can easily reach. The remaining vines in the tree will die and eventually fall off. Do not pull vines, as this could result in injury from falling debris. Japanese honeysuckle is a deciduous to semi-evergreen perennial native to East Asia. Leaves are paired, opposite, ovate shape to oblong ovate shape, and about 1 to 3 inches long by 1/2 to 1.5 inches wide. Young plant leaves are deeply toothed. It has white to yellow flowers that are highly fragrant with nectar, produced in June. Its fruits are black, about 1/4 inch in diameter, paired and produced in the fall. It has blonde bark and twining vine. The vines can be pulled by hand, but you should wear long pants and a long-sleeved shirt to avoid injury from prickles. Mile-a-minute is a herbaceous annual native to Asia with a distinctive circular cup-shaped leaf, or ochrea, surrounding the stem at the nodes. Ochrea is a bunch of stipules fused into a sheath surrounding the stem. The leaves are alternate, pale green, and triangle-shaped. The flowers emerge from the ochrea and are small and white. The fruit forms a blueberry-like hard seed at the terminal. The vines can be pulled by hand or removed with pruners, but you must bag for removal. A weevil was released in 2007 in Maryland as a biological control agent. Winter creeper is an evergreen woody perennial native to East Asia. Its leaves are opposite, glossy, dark green, oval, and slightly toothed with light-colored veins. The flowers are small and greenish. Removal can be done through hand pulling and cutting. Oriental bittersweet is a woody deciduous native to East Asia. Its twining vines can cause tree girdling. Its leaves are alternate, glossy, and rounded with finely toothed margins. The flowers are small and green and appear from most leaf axils. The fruits are green to yellow and split at maturity to reveal red-orange areoles that cover seeds. The removal method we recommend is to bag and remove seeds and pull and cut vines out and the roots repeatedly. Japanese hops is a herbaceous annual with a twining, shallow-rooted vine native to Asia. Its leaves are rough-textured, paired, simple, palmate, and 5 to 7 lobed with toothed leaf margins. Its flowers are either male or female. The male flowers are very small, greenish yellow, and occur in branch panicles, while the female flowers are pale green, plump, drooping, cone-like structures with overlapping scales that become hops. They can be hand-pulled out of the ground, but please wear a long-sleeve shirt and pants to avoid prickles. Porcelain berry is a deciduous, woody perennial native to Asia. Its leaves are alternate, simple, 3 to 5 lobed to highly dissected with a heart-shaped base and coarsely toothed margins with a shiny underneath and hairs on vines. The stem pith, the spongy cellular tissue, is white. Its flowers are tiny and greenish white with petals separate at their tips that occur in flat top clusters opposite the leaves. The fruit is speckled with colors ranging from pink to purple. They can be removed by pulling young vines and removing the rootstock by hand anytime. Common periwinkle is mostly evergreen with vine-like erect or trailing ground cover native to Europe and West Asia. Its leaves are opposite, dark green, glossy, oval to land shape, and thick textured. The flowers are spiral-shaped and can be blue, lavender, or white. While it has no fruits or seeds, it is vegetative through rhizomes. Mowing or hand-pulling can cut plants back, but needs to be repeated regularly. The second type of invasive plants we will discuss are shrubs, which include multiflora rose, winged burning bush, wineberry, Japanese barberry, and bush honeysuckles. Multiflora rose is a multi-stemmed, sometimes climbing vine with arching stems and recurved thorns, native to East Asia. It has 5 to 11 sharply toothed leaflets, and the leaf stalks have fringed stipules. This can be distinguished from native roses, which do not have the fringed stipules. The white to pinkish flowers come in clusters, where 1-inch wide flowers appear at the end of branches in May. Small, bright red fruits develop during the summer and remain on the plant throughout the winter. Removal must be frequent and repeated by cutting or mowing at the rate of 3 to 6 times per growing season for 2 to 4 years. Winged burning bush is a multiple stem shrub with angular branching and conspicuously winged stems native to Asia. The leaves are deciduous, dark green, and form in pairs along the stem, turning bright red-purple in autumn, which gives it its common name. In late spring, greenish flowers appear, and in summer, red-purple fruits mature. Seedlings can be pulled by hand, but shrubs need to be repeatedly cut to the ground to control resprout. Wineberry is a multi-stem shrub with spiny stems densely covered with reddish glandular hairs, native to Asia. The reddish glandular hairs are also on the flowering stems and buds. The leaves are alternate, divided into 3 leaflets with toothed margins, where the terminal leaflets are the largest and the undersides are silvery white. The flowers have 5 white petals that occur in the springtime and have bright red edible berries produced in the early summer. Removal can be done mechanically by cutting the plant back. Japanese barberry is a spiny deciduous shrub 3 feet to 6 feet tall and native to East Asia. The branches are deeply grooved, brown, and usually have simple spines. The leaves are 1/2 to 1.5 inches long and shaped like small spatulas or narrow ovals, where the color ranges from green to bluish green to dark reddish purple. Flowers occur in spring with abundant pale yellow flowers that occur along the entire length of the stem in clusters from 2 to 4. The fruits are bright red berries about 1/3 inches long that mature in July to October and persist throughout the winter. Young plants can be pulled by hand, but you should use a weed wrench for older shrubs and definitely wear thick gloves to protect yourself from spines. Bush honeysuckles are deciduous that grow upright up to 15 to 20 feet and are native to Asia. The pith of the mature stem is hollow and white or tan. The leaves are opposite ovate with a tapered tip and up to 3.5 inches long. The flowers are paired, tubular, white or pinkish, fading to yellow, less than 1.5 inches long, and are borne from leaf axils with 5 petals and the upper 4 fused. The fruits are red to orange-red berries produced in the late summer and persist throughout the winter. Young plants can be pulled by hand, but larger plants can be pulled with a weed wrench. The third type of invasive plants we will discuss are herbaceous forbs, which includes garlic mustard and fig buttercup. Garlic mustard is a biennial herbaceous forb in the mustard family, native to Europe and Asia. The first-year plants are low rosettes of kidney-shaped leaves with scalloped margins. The second-year mature plants produce single or multiple flowering stalks, 1 to 4 feet high with heart-shaped leaves, toothed margins, and pointed tips, and then die back by late spring. The dried fruiting stalks may persist for many months, and the seeds can survive 4 to 5 years in the soil. Removal requires long-term effort, but hand-removing the plants along with the roots and bag it when it has mature fruits. It produces a toxin that can be deadly to the larvae of native butterflies and also produces a chemical that affects the growth of mycorrhizal fungi, which leads to the suppression of native tree seedling growth. Fig buttercup is a perennial with thick tuberous roots and bulbets native to Europe. The leaves are shiny, dark green, kidney-shaped, and stalked. The flowers, fruits, and seeds are glossy with butter-yellow flowers that appear in March and April and are supported on delicate stalks above the leaves. Above-ground portions die back by early June. Clumps can be pulled by hand for small infestations or dug up using a shovel, removing entire plants and as many tubers as possible. The last type of invasive plants we will discuss are grasses, which includes Japanese stilt grass. Japanese stilt grass is an annual resembling a small delicate bamboo native to Asia. The mature plants grow to 2 to 3 feet in height, and the leaves are pale green, land-shaped, asymmetrical, about 3 inches in length with shiny midrib. They can be hand-pulled before the fall and will require repeated removal. There are a few invasive plants that are alert only because some NNIs require more heavy mechanical means or herbicides, which we do not use in AAWR. By using the app Maiden, Mid-Atlantic Early Detection Network, you can help professionals identify and remove these NNIs. Some alert-only NNIs include wavy leaf basket grass, Chinese wisteria, princess tree, Japanese wisteria, bamboo, and Japanese knotweed. A few more will continue on the next slide. Continuing the alert-only invasive plants are kudzu, autumn olive, common reed, Bradford pear, Canada thistle, and tree of heaven.